Welcome to Advocate Today. I'm Aaron Dean. Gun owners in New York will now need a background check before buying ammunition. Firearm and ammunition sellers will have to register online in coordination with the new policy. A background check will cost $2.50 per check and $9 per firearm. The New York State Police will oversee the new background check program. A South Florida city is declaring itself an LGBTQ plus sanctuary city. Lake Worth Beach is the first city in Florida to designate itself a sanctuary city. The state has over 40 cities and counties with LGBTQ inclusive policies, but none have adopted a similar resolution. So what does all of this mean? The declaration is a largely symbolic one, but in the resolution, city leaders criticize the anti-LGBTQ plus policies passed by the Florida legislature and highlighted the wave of LGBTQ plus people and allies leaving the state because of it. Whether you're queer, black, or both, one thing is for sure, we're gonna travel, right? But it's sometimes hard to find safe and inclusive destinations to go to. Well, Salty Travels is helping men of color in the LGBTQ plus community explore the world safely. And its founder, Jay Flynn, says that the travel space can do a better job of serving black queer men. Check it out. Hi, Jay. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Aaron? How's everything?
Everything's good. Everything's good. So
Good,
we're just
good.
gonna jump right into it. Tell us who you are, a little bit about your background, and tell us what exactly Salty Travels is all about.
Okay, my name is Jay Flynn, and I am the founder of Salty Travels. And here at Salty Travels, we create and curate luxury travel experiences for Black men, for the gay and queer community. And I kind of got all into this when um, I actually had another travel company, and it really wasn't doing too well. But I did see that the Black gay men in our community, it was tremendously underserved, dealing with like the travel field. And I took advantage of it. I started Salty Travels, and it's been going well ever since.
So how long ago was all of this? How many years ago?
So Salty is actually turning 3 this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it because we've had a lot of trips with wonderful people, and we've had such good times as well.
Now listen, like I told you earlier, I've seen your Instagram account. Like y'all go
Uh,
to some very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful places. But I have to ask, like, for you, what was it that made you say, you know what, I have to cater this to black men in the LGBTQ plus community?
so as I said before, we were definitely underserved. I think Black men, especially Black gay men, we like to travel a certain way. We like our urban music, R&B, hip hop. Right now, Afro beats is going on, and we like to hear that. It makes us feel alive, and that's what we want to feel whenever we're on vacation. We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to have a good time. And so I saw that the travel company doesn't necessarily cater to that. It doesn't cater to some of the food that we like to eat or some of the excursions that we like to go on. Something that's not too, you know, death defying or
Right.
I was able to kind of curate that with Salty Travels. And listen, my guys have been having a great time ever since.
Great. Well, with you being such a big travel expert, I mean, you've traveled everywhere. You've had people travel everywhere with you. How
Yeah.
can the travel industry overall become more inclusive? What do they need to do?
Well, as far as them being more inclusive, that's really just something I guess maybe hopefully people like me can start to say, listen, there's a market here. There's a market here. People who want to really travel and visit those destinations, and that you can. There's definitely a benefit towards having people in the gay and queer community come to these countries. And I just hope that somewhere down the line, I can speak to someone or influence someone for them to just say, you know what, yes, we're going to be more inclusive with this, and I hope Salty Travel does it as well.
And there are some places in the world that really aren't safe for BIPOC people in general to travel to. But
Mm.
sometimes when you add that intersection of sexuality into it, it can make it a little bit more tricky. How do you, pick your locations and you pick safe and inclusive ones that are also still fun and unique.
Right, right. And so that's one of our core missions is that commitment to make sure that whenever we choose our places, it's absolutely safe and inclusive. And so when we're selecting those destinations, we have a couple of key factors that we assure to make our travelers feel confident when they're traveling. And so one of those key factors is the LGBTQ laws and rights. We try and make sure that whatever destination we're going to, that they have the most updated laws or rights protecting us. And now I know sometimes there are some countries that the laws hasn't haven't necessarily caught up to like the society's beliefs. And so
Mhm.
we take that into consideration as well. They may not have gay rights protecting us, but at least they don't have any laws that are prohibiting us from
Mhm.
living our lifestyle.
And so tell our viewers a little bit, where are some of the locations that you all have been? Kind of take us on a little mini virtual, vacation here. Where have y'all gone?
I'll try my best. So we have gone to Colombia,
Oh,
Greece, Bali,
oh wow.
Thailand, South Africa, and the list just it's gonna grow. We plan on doing also Cuba and Costa Rica as well. We have Curacao, which is one of our newer destinations. So we are ready. Okay, we are definitely ready. If you want to have a good time with like-minded people and also just like great, fun people, it's Salty Travels all the way.
Listen, you had me once you said Greece. I've always wanted to go there. It looks so beautiful. And every time I see some friends that go there, I'm just like, you know what? Screw you guys.
Mm, yeah, Greece.
So,
Greece is amazing. It's actually a dream.
oh,
Depending on where you go, you're gonna have such a great time.
gosh, so beautiful. And I have to ask, do you have any kind of like fun stories of any of your guests that have really been truly impacted by this experience?
Yes, I actually had one guest who was, I guess, transitioning in their jobs and transitioning in their location where they were living. And they actually came on a salty trip, just trying to get away to kind of, maybe regroup and see if the decision that they were making was correct.
Mhm.
And they came on the salty trip, and the fun and the peace of mind that they were able to have and to kind of like really relax and get their thoughts together and kind of make that transition, it actually helped. I actually had a long email about it, and it was so touching. It really did make my heart flutter a little bit to say, wow, we had an impact on someone. They had such a great time. Had they have been recommending us as well, so I'll never forget that moment when I got that email with one of my guests saying that. It was absolutely touching. It really was.
That is great. Especially with all that's happening in this world and our communities, it is definitely nice to know that something that you provided someone really changed their lives, really brought some joy to their day, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And we see that on every trip. Most of our guests don't usually or necessarily know each other. Some may come with friends, but some do travel alone. And it's guaranteed. You're going to come on a salty trip, even though you may be alone, you are going to be leaving with friends and some type of brotherhood vibe. It's inevitable.
Okay, well, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yes.
So, to wrap it all up, tell our viewers, what's next for you all, and how can people connect with you in Salty Travels?
So we plan on adding destinations at least every other month for 2024. And we plan on going to countries that don't necessarily are exposed to Black, queer, and gay men. And we have a long list that we're trying to just make sure that we can do it diligently and that it can be seamless as well.
Thanks so much for watching Advocate today. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to stream us live, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate channel, I'm Aaron Dean.